You know when the air feels just a little heavier than usual? That's today. I've got tea, and I've got a story that's been sitting with me all week. If you're new here, welcome to the chaos. If you're not, you already know we don't rush things here. Grab your project, grab your snacks, your drink, and settle in. And if you hear creaking behind me, it's probably just the house. Probably. I've been thinking a lot about places that feel like they remember you. Not in a scary way, just in that lingering, quiet way. And I want to sit with that for a while. There's this house tucked behind a row of pines. Locals call it the fog house. Every fall, the fog rolls in thick and the house disappears. Not metaphorically, I mean actually gone. One year, a couple hiked up there and the trail just ended. No house, no clearing, just trees. I've heard three versions of the story. One says the house moves, one says it's a mirage, one says it's waiting for someone specific. I don't know which one to believe, but I do know this. Some places don't want to be found. Inside the fog house, there's a room where the wallpaper peels in perfect vertical strips. The air feels heavy, like it hasn't moved in years. Even the wallpaper looks tired. It wasn't frightening, not exactly. It just felt paused, like someone left mid sentence and never came back. When I was little, there was a house at the end of our street. No one lived there, but the porch light was always on. We used to dare each other to walk past it after dark. One night, I heard humming from inside. It wasn't eerie, it was familiar, like something my grandmother used to hum while folding laundry. I never told her that. My aunt had a mirror in her attic, oval frame, kind of warped. Every time I looked into it, the room behind me looked older. The wallpaper was different, the light was dimmer. I asked if it was an antique. She said it's been in the family longer than the attic. I still don't know what that means, but I stopped looking. Do you have something in your house that feels off? Not cursed, just emotionally loud. A chair no one sits in, a photo that always falls off the wall. I had a lamp once that flickered only when I talked about my grandfather. I want to know what you got, what it does, what it remembers. One night, I was editing and heard a sound, like someone dragging a suitcase upstairs. I paused the audio, walked up, nothing. But the file had a glitch, a burst of static right where the sound happened. I still have that file. I don't listen to it. I don't delete it either. There was a library near my school with a basement no one used, flickering lights, shelves full of books untouched for decades. I used to go down there just to sit. It felt like the books were waiting. I never read them, I just listened, and once, just once, I heard a page turn. Have you ever found a place that felt like it was waiting for you? A stairwell no one uses? A bench that's always empty? I think some places collect stories, and some stories collect people. My grandma had a blanket she kept folded at the end of her bed. After she passed, we found it in the closet, still folded, still warm. No one had touched it. I don't know how to explain that, but I think some things hold warmth longer than they should, and I think some warmth isn't just temperature. There was a locked room in my cousin's farmhouse. One summer, the door was open. Inside, a rocking chair, a lamp, and a photo of the room itself. I never went back in. Not because I was scared, but because I felt like I'd interrupted something. Have you ever walked into a room and felt like it knew you? Not in a creepy way, just familiar. The ones that feel like they've been waiting. The ones that feel like they've already heard your story. There was a stairwell in my old apartment building that echoed wrong. You'd walk down and you'd hear footsteps behind you, but they didn't match yours. I tested it once, walked slowly, the echo ran. I moved out a month later. My neighbor had a grandfather clock that stopped every night at 3:17, no matter how many times they fixed it. One day, it started chiming again. That was the day they moved out. I asked them once what happened at 3:17. They said, nothing. That's the problem. Have you ever had a moment where time felt off? Like you lost a few minutes or gained some? The ones that don't fit, the ones that live between seconds. I once stayed in a hotel where the room number skipped 312, 314, no 313. I asked the front desk. You know what they said? They said, that room doesn't even exist anymore. Not, we don't use it. Not, it's under renovation. Just, My friend had a photo on her fridge, a group shot from a camping trip. One day, there was an extra person in it. No one recognized them. She threw it away, and it came back. Have you ever taken a photo that felt wrong? Not blurry, just off. A shadow that shouldn't be there. A face that doesn't look like it did in real life. I once visited a house on a whim. Years later, I drove past it again. My phone rang. Unknown number. The voice said, "You came back." I hadn't told anyone I was there. I didn't answer. I just kept driving. There was a hallway in an old hotel where the carpet felt softer halfway down, like I was stepping into a different floor. When I turned back, the hallway looked longer, like it didn't want me to leave. Some elevators skip the 13th floor. This one skipped numbers depending on the day. Once I pressed 7, it went to 9. Once I pressed 3, it went to 5. And once it went to a floor with no number at all. In my grandfather's desk, there was a drawer no one could open. After he passed, it slid open easily. Inside, one piece of paper, blank. Late at night, I used to hear a train go by that wasn't on the schedule. No lights, no horn, just wheels. The station swore no trains ran then, and sometimes I still hear it. In one apartment, the window didn't reflect the street outside. It reflected a garden, even though there was only concrete. A friend wore a watch that ticked in reverse. Not broken, just backwards. He said it always told the right time, only a day late. There was a playground near my childhood home. One night, I saw the swings moving. Not swaying, swinging high, like someone invisible was playing. During a storm, we lit a candle. The wind rattled the windows, but the flame never died. When I tried to blow it out, it refused. We left it burning until it vanished on its own. I once stepped into a gallery room with no corners. Every edge was rounded. It felt impossible to stand still, like the walls were guiding me back out. All right, we've wandered through a lot tonight. Stories that drift, places that linger, objects that remember. The tea's gone, the light's fading, the house is quiet. I'll leave you with this. Some stories don't need endings, they just need to be told. Thanks for staying with me. And hey, if you like hanging out, tap that like button, leave a comment, tell me what you're currently working on, and your weirdest memory. Or just say hi. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if you're feeling brave, ring the notification bell. Talk to you guys soon.